Despite the fact that Starfield is on life support at this point from Bethesda, it did survive into its second year of life, and here we slip into its third. And although, at least at the time of writing and recording this video, we've yet to see any true updates from Bethesda about the future of Starfield, we do have the luxury of having a small but dedicated player base of modders, providing us with content of their own to sustain us as we go into 2026. So, as we launch into the new year and see what's in store, I wanted to look back at some of my favorite mods of 2025. And since I'm terrible at segues, we're just gonna jump right into that. It's worth noting that although there have been a lot of incredible Star Wars mods to come out this year, I am excluding all of those because Star Wars Genesis is a thing that exists, and at some point I'll talk about that as its own separate standalone thing. Starting off, we have Permanent POIs, Evil Beyond by Polvo Voss. This mod adds over 30 new permanent points of interest with unique or valuable loot as part of a project to help reduce both the amount of repetitive POIs you encounter and make them permanent so that you aren't randomly picking and landing at a million sites in the hopes of seeing something cool. I've added a list on screen of all the new locations, courtesy of the mod author, so if you want to go fight some baddies in some new handmade dungeons, this mod's all for you, baby. But if you're gonna head down into the Evil Beyond in search of wealth and fame, you need to be properly equipped. You need weapons, you need armor, you need the whole shebang. And we're gonna cover all of that, because somehow, all of the mods that I include in this video blend together pretty nicely to make a nice layered space sandwich. But let's start with you yourself. You wake up in the morning and what's the one thing you have? You. Yourself. And with SFF Body Replacer by Aldo 0013, you can be the real you. This is genuinely the single greatest body mod ever made for Starfield. Undeniably. And I hope going forward more modders realize this and start utilizing this as the primary body mod going forward. I'll advocate for this mod as much as I possibly can because it's literally never leading my load order. Like, you can make so many different body types and presets for different characters. And with card gen menu, it'll actually save your body type for your character. Which is why Alexis here always looks like she could pick me up and throw me from Jemison to Vola Alpha. And Nikita here looks like she'd let me feed her a burger while we, Now, you look like the real you. Next, we need gear. But first, you need credits. But before even that, you need a way to earn credits. So let's run over to your galaxy map and plot your destination. Maybe you should run the Red Mile, but where even is the Red Mile? Let's find out using Starware Search Engine by Larian Carr. This mod lets you search for specific things in the galaxy map to find exactly what you're looking for. And with that, we're off to run the Red Mile. Or we could try our luck once we get there with Red Mile Blackjack by my absolute Starfield modding goat, Downfall Nemesis. Seriously, check out their mod page. This modder is doing the Lord's work with Starfield, and pretty much all of their mods deserve to be showcased in this video, but I'm only picking this one. Anyways, with this mod, you can do exactly what it sounds like. Play blackjack and win big, or lose everything, and then run the Red Mile to get more just to lose it all over again. It's a win, lose, lose, win, lose. Nicely done. You've successfully walked the mile, blacked your jack, and made the cash you need to get the gear you want. Now, what gear do you want? I don't know about you, but I know what I want. And I want a BR-75 battle rifle from the Halo UNSC Armory by Ratatusker. Who knew the squirrel from the World Tree also made guns? I didn't. This mod adds 19 new weapons from the two most recent Halo games, Halo 5 Guardians and Halo Infinite. And the coolest part to me is that the ammo counters actually do count down as you fire. When I tried installing a mod with that feature in Fallout 4, it was so performance heavy and script demanding that it just wasn't worth using. But this is seamless. If I didn't know that these guns were from Halo and somebody showed them to me in this game, I think that they fit right in. And although I mentioned earlier that I'm not talking about Star Wars, I generally tended to avoid collabs in general with this mod list, I made an exception for these because they are so much fun. I'm running out of ways to keep the coherency of our story going, but I'll do my best. Congratulations! You've successfully acquired the gear that you need to attack those points of interest in order to acquire even more gear. The question is, what do you do once you have that sweet, sweet legendary gear acquired at the end of a gruesome dungeon? Maybe you got that perfect god roll of your dreams, but considering that this is Bethesda and not Gearbox, that seems highly unlikely. So instead of dealing with an unhappy roll, you're going to take your gear to the Legendomatic machine by... I'm kind of afraid to pronounce that, actually. With this mod, you'll find legendary modules as loot at the end of every dungeon, in 3 ranks, 1 for each rank of a legendary's traits. Then you'll take your dissatisfactory item to this machine and re-roll its traits there. On top of that, this mod adds 50 new traits, and adds some much needed TLC to the existing ones. That way your gear never truly goes to waste, and at the very least you can suck a little more juice out of it before having to replace it. However, if you're looking to up your Starborn arsenal in the New Game Plus modes in a similar fashion, Starborn Suit Legendary Reroll by GenWin77 will let you do just that. Travel to a derelict station floating above the planet Nikola X, and follow the trail to find a Starborn named Sierra, a fully voiced NPC who helps you customize and modify your Starborn equipment. You can separate it into several parts, reassemble it into one suit, re-roll its legendary effects, and even upgrade its base stats, all using the much underutilized Quantum Essence as currency, so that you're not just stockpiling it forever and ever and ever. Pretty awesome mod if you want to get one up on the Hunter or the Emissary your second time around. Now, every good successful mission deserves a... let's call it a debrief, shall we? Where in the galaxy would one go to debrief after a stressful near-death experience? The Astral Lounge, of course. But then you get there, and, well, why is it so empty? Why is it so lifeless? It's a Friday night. You telling me nobody's out here drinking? Empty no more. Astral Lounge, Neon's Wildest Night by French Gentleman, touches up the Astral Lounge to make it feel a lot more lived in. Maybe it's a little inspired by Lizzie's Bar from Cyberpunk? I get those vibes. But either way, this mod does a lot of things. More NPCs, new dance animations, new couch animations, more clutter and aurora scattered about the place, and even a few new kit-bashed outfits for you to wear while you dance it up with your besties Sarah and Andreja. But how are you going to celebrate a successful mission in the Astral Lounge by dancing if you can dance? Fear not, my Starborn associate. With usable animation markers by XTC Refugee, you can interact with all of the hidden idle locations that NPCs are using all the time. That guard there? You can pretend to be him. That dancer? Guess what? You're a dancer too, Commander Shepard. You can lean on walls, sweep floors, and do anything an NPC does, but better. The galaxy, or at least the settled systems, are yours to dance in freely, you wild thing, you. And now we come down to our last mod for the day. Before we get into it, let me just say, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching this video all the way through. This is the first of many videos that I have planned for you all. I'm not slowing down anytime soon if I can help it, and if you could just leave a like or even subscribe if you like what you see, and let me know in the comments below which of these mods has been your favorite, it would help both me and the channel a lot. Now, enough fooling around. 2025 gave us some incredible stuff to mess around with in Starfield. Whether you're using paid creations like Watchtower, or dedicating yourself to the freebies on the Nexus and creations like I am. Whether you fly ships, or you just want to look cool doing it, or you want to fight new enemies, 2025 has had a little something for everyone. But when all is said and done, when every dungeon has been delved, and every ship has been filled, And when the credits run dry and the loot is all gone, we always find ourselves back at the lodge. And I love the lodge, don't get me wrong. But as Max Lord said in that one Wonder Woman movie that nobody liked or watched, life is good, but it can be better. And I'm here to prove that true, with the lodge revamped by WMD Bloodhunter. Pretty much every single room in the lodge has gotten some touch-ups, with lots of cool new additions and features. But the biggest highlights to me are found in the player's bedroom and the basement, which, unlike at your parents' house where you're watching this video from, are not the same place. The bedroom gets a huge revamp, with a bunch of new clutter and gear to make it feel like it's truly lived in by an adventurer who spends their days traversing the stars, battling ne'er-do-wells and hoarding Chunks cheesecakes. There's clutter and knickknacks, there's ammo caches, there's even some snackies, an armor display, a cozier bed, a computer. Overall, it's the exact opposite of Bethesda's obsession with minimalism, and as a result, I think it's beautiful. Going down into the basement, right off the bat, you can see that there's a lot more clutter, places to store weapons and loot, and it generally just looks like it's a lot more lived in by people who tend to traverse the stars for a living. As in the vanilla game, there's one of every workshop, and going further down the hall you'll see that even Cora's bedroom looks a little more lively. Though I do kind of feel bad for her, having to sleep alone in the basement while the rest of Constellation is upstairs together. There's a small kitchenette, there's a lounge area, and a sort of makeshift action room. This action room has armor displays for each member of Constellation and a small planning table to decide what comes next. Coming back up to the top floor, I did forget to mention there are a few small changes, such as a small ladder with a latch that goes up and down from the top floor to the bottom floor in the storage room. The bar has received the full John Taffer treatment. There's new alcohol and food littered throughout, making it look like the kind of place that Constellation would actually willingly choose to sit down together and share a meal in. This mod is so cool. I genuinely I can't see myself being in the lodge without it anymore. It's the perfect combination of form and fashion, and if you're not using this mod, I don't know what to tell you, you're missing out. As a minor aside before we wrap it up, does anyone else find it odd that there's like actual cans of soda and stuff? I don't know, maybe it's just me. I mean, when I think of Bethesda and food, I think like pork or stew, or bottled mead, or bread, right? Like even with like Fallout 4, all of the soda is glass bottles. But I guess I'd also never really have thought of Bethesda and space before. It's always magic or mini nukes. So I guess change can be a good thing sometimes. With all of that said and that minor rant aside, these are some of the greatest mods to come out for Starfield in the Big 25. And I'm specifically referring to free mods. Creations is a whole new ballpark and I can't afford them. But it is genuinely frightening seeing how many high quality, incredible mods we are getting going into Starfield. You know, it's only been 2 years and you have entire teams trying to make projects for games like Skyrim and Fallout 4, and it just seems like a lot of Starfield's modding community wasted zero time in getting that shit done, you know, with small 1 to 2 person groups. Because there's so much to show off, I look forward to seeing y'all in the next one. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I've had an incredible time making this video, and I hope you enjoyed it enough to like it and maybe come back for the next one.